Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. You need power in your relationships. Now, listen very carefully what I'm talking about. I don't mean in a case of you're the dictator, you totally dominating everything in your relationships. Because realistically, that's not gonna happen. Realistically. Yeah, you could still be the leader, but there's always going to be some things that the woman does, and that's her job. That's her job. But what I mean as far as power, and really not just in the relationships with women, but in all your dealings with people. It could be relationships, it could be friendships, it could be business, especially in business. I could have halfway did this on my Money Matters channel. You need power. What do I mean by power? Leverage. Now, as I've said, I've had 1,000 jobs. See, you know what? Somebody's going to think I literally had 1,000. I just did a lot of things, different things for money. But one of the things that was one of the more serious ones was working in the government. The Department of Justice, Civil Rights Division, Disability Rights Section, and I actually learned how to negotiate. There were even seminars taught to people in that section on how to negotiate. If you're doing a negotiation, you always need a place of power. You need a place of leverage. When I talk about power, you have a strong position. You have a strong position. You're not just following along. Then you're more likely to get the results that you want. Now, as I said, you cannot control another human being 100%. Let's just focus on the relationship part, because I know a lot of people tuned in for that. You need to have power when you're dealing with that woman. Now, a lot of guys don't think they have power, don't think they have leverage, and they just follow along. Now, that's the true meaning of a simp right there. You just following along. You putting that woman on a pedestal. You got to be at a point where it ain't so much you want her, but she wants you. Now, how do you do that? By being strong within yourself, being strong in your position, being in a place where you could take it or leave it. I'm gonna tell you what, I've seen stuff about men being in sexless marriages. You know how I personally feel about when I see a man and woman walking together and he's walking behind her. And I've gotten more bullshit behind that. Oh, I'm protecting her. Yeah, you walking a few paces behind her, that's protection. That means that somebody comes from the front. Yeah, you could see it, but they're going to still get to her first. And that means a vision of it is she's leading you. You're not leading her. That's not power. A lot of guys in that position because, you know what? They can't get an attractive woman like that. Or they think, oh, she's a goddess. And, you know, and they think she's a lead. In fact, I remember one time, and I don't care if this dude see this. I can't remember his name exactly, but this is one of the few occasions I wouldn't have a problem calling his name. It was he actually, his whole philosophy was that women were the dominant ones. Men are supposed to follow, you know, women like that. And we actually had an intervention for him, an intervention that he didn't show up to. Oh Lord, I mean, man. And then he was wondering why he was having the trouble. I was like, well, okay, you just totally following behind her. First of all, nobody really respects that. Let's just be real. Let's be real. Even when you're the leader, if somebody's totally following you and everything, at some point, you might not have a problem with them following you without question, but at some point, you're going to be like, I don't respect this person, you know? Every man has to stand on who he is. He has to realize his value. And that's not, like I said, not just for women, but just in life. Too many men are following along. You know, on Saturdays, I do the Sovereign Man videos. Part of sovereignty is knowing who you are. Knowing that you have leverage. Because what I say, if you can't control something outright, at least have leverage. You know, and like I've been saying just in this video, it's not just for women. Say you on a job. Yeah, you're an employee on that job, but you don't want to be in a position where they can just push you around. You're just going to do whatever. You need to be in a position where you can buck back if you need to. If you need to say, hold up. You seeing it this way, I see it that way. Now, some people would say, well, you could get fired or something like that. It was like, no. Because if you're in a strong position on that job, they're going to respect what you're saying. And all you doing is you ain't just bucking the buck, but you just seeing a different perspective. You need to at least, on a job, if you're working for somebody, at least be in a position that they're going to respect what you're saying. Even if they don't do it, at least they're going to sit back and listen sincerely. That's power right there. And then if you can get things done the way you want them to be done, that's even more power right there. And that's in everything, in life, just in life. But let's get back to relationships, because I know guys tuning in for that part. When you're dealing with women, you got to be in a position where she wants you just as much as you want her. What do you have going on? Not that you want her, but what do you have going on? You have to be able to deal with her on your own terms. And if she's not behaving a certain way, not putting up with stuff. Like the thing with attractive women, like the woman, she don't even have to be a dime. She could just be reasonably attractive. Many men will follow along for the pussy. Let's just be real. Will follow along. But instead of thinking, well, hold up, I want her pussy, but she wants this dick. Yeah, I'm gonna be crass like that. I'm gonna be crass outside of a car video. You giving her something. She needs just like you, like a lot of guys, like a lot of women got guys doing all this stuff to earn them. To earn that gash between their legs. Instead of thinking, well, hold up, I'm bringing something to this too. She needs to earn what I got swinging between my legs. I want y'all to think about that. That's your power right there. Understand what you're bringing to the table and valuing what you're bringing. And that's, like I said, I'm bringing it back to women, but that's just in life. Valuing who you are, standing up for who you are. That's the important thing. And you got to have that, because if you don't have a power in your relationships, if your relationships with women, with your friends, on your jobs, in your business, just moving through life, you will always be following along. And then you will always wonder why you're not getting the things you want. You got to have that leverage. You have to negotiate different scenarios from a position of power. In fact, a dear friend who passed away, she wrote several books. She used that with the characters when they would get together. She called, like, when they would hook up sexually, negotiations. And that's how it is. But you got to negotiate from a place of power. You need to have power. Now, of course, somebody will get in the comments, well, how can I have that? Well, go through my archives. I'm telling you all the time. But just real quick, just valuing what you're bringing. Understanding that's you. What you bringing to the table. What you bringing sexually. When you're dealing with that woman for a relationship. What you bringing intellectually. What you bringing. Valuing that and understanding, hold up, she needs to earn this. When you on a job, what you're bringing to that job. Like I always talk about the 1,000 jobs, I always went on every job realizing, hold up, I'm bringing them my service. Yeah, they paying me, but I'm giving my service. They need my service. And I always put myself in a position. I've been in government jobs, private sector jobs, where they couldn't just get rid of me because what I was bringing. And every man needs to think that way. You know, as you moving out in the streets, just every day, just random encounters, realizing, hold up, this is who I am. You walking with your chest up, you know, you got your shoulders out, everything. Your head held high because of who you are. That's the power, all right? You need to have that. If you don't have it, you work on it. First, just focus on yourself, building yourself up. When I talk about body game, the body is the vehicle to do everything else. Now, just to get women. I want y'all to think about that. Just start thinking in terms of power, your position, what you're bringing. Instead of some women saying like relationships, because I know no matter what I'm saying about the other stuff, people care about the relationships, you know. No matter what, how fine she is, how good she looks, whatever, she got to earn something from you. That's what you're bringing. Because the second you say, well, hold up, yeah, you got that nice body, but that's what I'm bringing. What you doing to earn it? You got a position of power, all right? And just take that and just transfer it to other areas of your life, all right? So that's all I have for right now. Think on what I've been talking about, and I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.